company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. I'm a little curious about a few things here. So I'm looking at the company called Paint on Screens. Thank you for the sample sheets. By the way, as I said before, I knew the white screens are not going to hold up against the blacker technology, but I was more interested in that darker product over there that they had that was supposed to be a black screen, but technically at the end of the day, it's gray. It's a dark gray screen. I'm also interested in seeing how this is Crow's Beauty Mix that does not do well in pulling white levels. How would that compare to the paint on screen? Now, the paint on screen, like I said, is a paint on projection screen product. It's an actual screen paint. How would this compare in white levels? Which I'm now curious and I want to know. Now, on the back of their sample, they call it black. This is not black. This is actual gray. That's black. See, that right there is a phantom. Phantoms are jet black. So we know it's not black. We know it's definitely gray. And it does say in the description, they're not deceiving anybody. It does say deep gray. So they consider that deep gray, but still not black. These right here are the other two sample sheets I got from them. This one right here is an ultimate contrast, which I'm kind of baffled. How is this contrast? Because look how light the screen is. This is not gonna, we have a 22,000 to 1 or 20,000 to 1 projector downstairs about to set up. This one right here is 3D 4K. Now usually this has to be a silver because usually with 3D 4Ks, they're usually silver screens. But it ain't much of a difference. This is actually lighter than that one, but it ain't much of a difference to tell you the truth. It really isn't much of a difference. So I'm curious how his products will level up to this, but this is what I'm more interested in right here. That's what I'm interested in. I want to see if this pulls a higher white level than this. If that pulls a higher white level than this, you know what this means, right? This means this is black and white paint. I lie to you not. That is a screen paint product right there. This is the company right here I got it from. Paint on Screens. That's where I got it from. That's where I shipped it right to my house. They do a high professional paint on screen. So I'm curious to see what happens. All right, we got the meter test because I have never tested the basement, so I'm curious there how much light we're generating in the basement. Basement generates a lot of light. So let's get this started. I got a few things. Got to add. My cat does battle with his fish. I got to go upstairs and turn on the computer because there's something on there I need to add real quick. Yeah, I haven't had any more emails back from that customer. Like I said, I know at the end of the day that my product works. 1,000 projectors. We test them. That's why we have them here. That's why we have so many projectors. We have to test the screen and test about everything. So, you know, wouldn't have all these projectors in the tech room if we weren't testing our stuff on them. You know, all the projectors we have over there, projectors over there, projectors on the floor. Those are the test projectors we do at 800, 600, and 1,000 lumens. Knockoff projectors, Chrissy projectors, ultra short throw projectors, high lumen projectors, ultra short throws, all of them. So, you know, I got projectors in the basement. I got projectors in this room. I got projectors over there. So, you know, we test them on everything. So, you know, for him to sit there and say that I didn't know his projector was even 4K, so I went back and looked at the email. Good grief, he had 3,000 lumen 4K projector. Okay. And that screen couldn't pick up, but we could do it at over 13 feet in a fully lit room at 1,000 lumens at 600 by 800, 720p SVGA. On a projector that clearly was older than dirt because it was actually discontinued in 1999. And not only that, we could do that against Crow's product. We could do that against white paper and a certified 2.0 elite screen with no problem. And still produce better color and contrast. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, okay, sure. Like I said, I mean, everybody knows that if you have a company or if you have customer service, you're going to have that one customer that brings a smile to your face. And then you're going to have that one customer like, man, I can't wait to leave this job. Everybody knows that. You always got to deal with that one. You can't satisfy everybody all the time. It's virtually impossible. I learned that. I've learned that only over 12 years I've been in this business. This is why I like dealing with companies. When I'm dealing with a company, it's a different story. A company will come in, They'll buy a gallon of it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. That's the end of it. They're not mixing in black paint and doing all that stuff. They don't do that dumb nonsense. We don't have to deal with that nonsense. If they don't like it, they don't like it. They like it, we get a contract. If they don't like it, we don't get a contract. That's the end of the day. That's it. That's how it works. But they don't do this nonsense right here. We don't never have to go through this. This is the reason why I decided to go into research and development, because it's not like I'm not appreciating my customers. I love my customers to death, but after a while, man, it does wear and tear on you. It does wear and tear on you. It really does. So that's why after all these years, I decided to sign a contract. Why am I freaking in here? I don't need to be in here. I need to come out of here. I need to come out of here right there, but we don't go with that nonsense. I need to be over in here. All right. I'm gonna work on something here. I tell you, they never give you enough characters. I'm in my account right now. Yeah, I was curious about that last night. Do we have a 20,000 to 1? I'm pretty sure it's 20,000 to 1. I got to go check that. It's 22 or 20,000. It's somewhere in there. But I'm curious how it reacts to the screens. But then I was looking at his product, because this product comes up really dark. The even mix comes up really, really dark. This product is actually noted as a dark gray. So I'm curious, how would the dark gray look next to his if we displayed a white level? Will it pull up the same dark gray as Crow's product did, or will it pull up a white level? Which now I need to know this. It's not included in the demonstration, but it just popped up. It's gonna be one of those off the record things we're gonna do. All right, 20,001 contrast, gray and white, projection screen. Well, we need to put down projection screen. We have 2 of them there. I didn't have enough room. I don't know why they do it this way. Off record. If you didn't get a chance to play the game World War Z Aftermath, you are missing out. That game is freaking amazing. And it's not $60. It's an add-on. I literally thought it was a brand new game, but it's not. It's actually an add-on. So it's like $21 or something like that. But you actually need the actual original game to play it, which will still run you $40. But they jumped the price on it because I went to the PlayStation store. When I bought it, it was like $10 for me and my friend. Now it's like $29.99. So they jumped it knowing you would need that add-on to add the add-on. Let's see. We got a 20,001 contrast projector. That's the ViewSonic. And gray and white projection screens. We got to clarify that. Screens and screen paints. Screen paints. Yeah, but we don't go through that when it comes to contracts. They come in, they buy a gallon of it, they test it out. If they like it, they contact it. If they don't, they say, well, it's not to our liking, so and so and so, blah, blah, blah. And that's the end of it. That's it. Because then at the end of the day, they mix anything with that product. You know, they got a lot to lose. It's the company now. They mix anything with that product, or they tamper with it in any way, we're going to court. And if we go to court, they got a lot to lose. They're not going to go down the road for that stupidity. That's why I like to deal with companies. All right, we'll do it that way. Come in here like that. I think because when people see me using Christie's all the time, everybody knows I love Christie projectors. So when they see me using Christie's all the time, they think I'm always using 5,000 lumens, 4,000, powerful big boy projectors. That's why the screens look so good. Are you kidding me, man? We test that stuff. That's why we tested on it's one of the tests we have for the screen paint. If anyone saw the Phoenix, when we were doing the tests on them, I sat there and said on camera, we can't launch the product until it's run under the test. And one of the tests that the screens have to go through is a low lumen and distance test, and they're required on projectors of 1,000 lumens. You can use a whole 5,000 Christie for that whole test? Heck no. No, we got to use them on that one right there. Man, I remember when I first found that projector was 1,000 lumens, and it was in good shape. I bought it from a church. Oh, man, I rushed upstairs to pay for that. $75. I paid for that one. It's good test projector. I got to change the lamp on it too, though. All right. Sorry about you guys who are hating on me right now. I'm about to disable you. Goodbye. All right, go on here. This is done. Everything's saved. We're good on that one right there. Yeah, but that paint on screens. That's the company. It was my fault. I was impatient because it wasn't. I thought they weren't going to send the product, but they did send the product. So that was my fault. I was impatient, so I apologize for that one by saying that they're not going to send the product, but they did send the product. It's the other company that didn't send the product, which I find it kind of surprising. I can't my book. I find it kind of surprising that we got elite screen samples and we got paint on screen samples, But when it came to the other company, we got nothing. So I know they're watching. How else would they know if they weren't watching? They're watching me. I don't care. They're probably trying to figure out what that thing is, but you'll find out sooner or later. In a year from now, you'll find out what it is. All right, so we got our samples here. This is from Paint on Screens from them. These are Crow's products. This Crow's right money so weird. Oh no, this is mine. This is my product right here. This is my screen, my mix right there. This is mine right there. It's made with black and white. And then we have these right here. Then we have Crow's products here because I'm curious to see how he looks against another screen paint. We did do him against a company called Paint on Screen. That was, no, not Paint on Screen. It was Screens HD. Actually, that produced a much higher white level than this product and still maintained contrast at the same time, which was kind of interesting. Get my meter because I'm curious how bright my basement is right now. I'll tell you the truth. I need my fire stick. We need that. I marked it that time so that way I know which one this is. Grab our fire stick. We're going to need that. And we're also going to put Paint on Screens against the white screen because I'm pretty sure that's what they do the demonstrations against. If we do the demonstration strictly against this screen right here, it's not a contest. This is a black screen. I mean, the screen's going to pull contrast, but a color. We know that from the door. We need to test against the bone white downstairs. Let's see what we got. I'm carrying too much. I'm going to drop something, break something. I think we're good. We got some of this stuff. We can come back and get the rest of it. The only thing I don't think about working in the shop is every once in a while I come across a really big spider. I ain't got a fear for spiders, but these suckers are big and they can jump too. That's the other worst part about it. They can jump. Wouldn't be so bad if they didn't jump, but them suckers can jump. We got Mr. Mannequin over here. Mr. Mannequin, what's up? Mr. Mannequin, we use him to show off when the white screens reflect too much white light at you. That is you. That's Mr. Mannequin. Boom. Light coming at you. We got a 1.1 white screen. Are we plugged in? Here we are plugged in over here. Let's move our stuff over here. These are our test screens we work on. So we got the projector. And people ask me over and over again about this. Can I roll it up? Can I roll it down? We did enough demonstrations on motorized projection screens on tests that you should be able to know by now that you can roll that up and down with no problem. All right, got the fire stick over here. I know when people see me in my shop, they're probably looking around. You ain't gonna find anything. All that stuff's sitting in a box somewhere. You won't find anything. Trust me. You can break the camera down, slow it down, slow motion, whatever you want. You'll find nothing. I'm not that dumb. Later on today, I got to go out and I got to basically size up how big this screen, how much room this screen literally is going to take up. So we got to do that. I can't do that because it's not going to pick up outside. It might, I don't know. Because the Wi-Fi showing up did pick up at 21 feet, which was interesting because it never did. At one point, it never picked up. But it did pick up that time. But we got to measure the 250 inch on how far it's going to come out from the deck. I'm pretty sure I got the height of it. Pretty sure. But the width of it is going to be another story. So I may have to build a scaffold attached to my deck that's going to come out a little bit farther to actually attach the full entire screen. That's going to be a big, big screen. I think the first thing I'm running off of it is Pacific Rim. I'm not going to paint it. I'm not going to paint it on the floor. That's virtually impossible. Screen's way too big to do it. I had to literally paint the screen in while standing up against the whatchamacallit. So I put 2 coats of white on it. And then I got to come back in and I got to blast it with our product, which means that 250 is not going to be enough. I'm going to have to get a big boy sprayer for that one. So that's what we need. Where are my speakers at? Oh, they're over here. I think these are powered up. I'm pretty sure they are. All right, cool. I leave these on all the time. I leave them literally on all the freaking time. And I come down here and plug them up and go, pfft, batteries are dead. All right, so now we got to do, what's this right here? Oh, we need this for a little leverage for the screen. And we need to bring the screen on just yet. Where's the surge you're at? Is the surge on? So there's everything plugged up to it. There's it off. There we go. Behold the Black Phoenix on a $68 eBay screen. I was thinking about bringing the gamer screen down because I want to game down here. I don't game on the black screens all that much because they're not designed. They're designed for you can game on black screens, but the gamer screens are designed for this. That's what they're designed for. Designed for that extra color pop. So either I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna bring my screen from upstairs, which I doubt I'm gonna do. I'm gonna disconnect that from the ceiling. I'm not doing that. Probably just gonna go to eBay, buy me another $68 screen, paint it here in the middle of the floor, turn it into a gamer screen, throw some LED lights on it, and throw it up there. So that, because this way I got these hooks up here where I can actually interchange my screens anytime I want. So if you wonder how it's hanging, there you go. That's how it's hanging. These are the curtain rods that you get for, because they charge you for the rods, these little things right here. Sometimes they charge you 50, 60 bucks from, I don't know whoever's going to sell them to you. But anyway, those are the rods that you get for your curtains upstairs. So when you put your curtains up there, that's all they are. They're just a curtain rod. So once you were hanging the poles up, you're looping your curtains through, that's all it is. Got a couple of these. They're cheap. They don't cost anything. I got the heavy ones. Now, you can get the cast iron ones. They make the cast iron ones that are really, really heavy. The decorate ones, you can get those if your screens are a little more heavy. But that's all that is right there. You don't have to spend a lot of money. People be doing too much. They go up there and like buy those. Like, I paid 40 bucks for these. For what? They're just hooks. Could have did that with some curtain rods. Problem I have with these right here, these are a little lighter, and I can see the screws are being pulled out, and you know why the screws are being pulled out? Because the cat. I gotta go fix that, but that's all that is right there. Yeah, you know what you're doing. Don't act like you don't do anything. I'm hanging off my curtains. Cut that nonsense out. All right, so here's our projector we're gonna be using. Over here, our ViewSonic projector costs you 150 bucks. This projector is a hidden gem. You know that? A lot of people slept on these projectors. Shame though, but a lot of people slept on them. You know why? This projector has I think it's a 22. I think it's a 22 or 20,000. I think I look it up. But somewhere in that range, contrast ratio, which really doesn't make a difference if you have a black screen because black screen is going to produce either way. It doesn't really make a difference. But these are 3,800 lumen projectors. Not only that, even 600 by 800 720p. A lot of people lean away from that because of that. You're missing out on a really good projector right here. This projector has a 235.1 anamorphic lens built into it. Yeah, the 235.1, the ones that you have to pay all that money for, that's what it has in there. It has anamorphic lens in there, 235.1 built into it. So if you ever want to get a 235.1 setup, you don't want to spend a lot of money, just go pick up a ViewSonic. The only ones that have it, I think, are the 2016 models have them. And that's it. Once you reach the 2016, you're good. Anything under that, I wouldn't buy it because it won't have it. This is what you have to go through. We don't have lens shift. So this is a tilt trick. So the tilt trick is pretty easy. The tilt trick started with the mirror trick. You ever seen me do the mirror trick where you actually take an everyday projector and turn it to an ultra short throw by using a mirror? But the only problem you have with that, you do lose a little bit, not much, but you do lose a bit of the quality, but not by much. But anyway, the tilt trick is basically, if I set the projector here like this, what happens is it's going to hit right about there. And there's no position bar in here to move the screen down. It doesn't have lens shift. That's the beauty part of lens shift. If I set my projector here and it comes here, I can take the lens shift and I can put it in place like that. No problem. But without the lens shift, well, you're stuck with your screen being across here, which means you're going to have to either mount it or tilt it or however way you're going to do it to get it to fit in that spot. So what we do is we put it on a tilt. Two of these in the back like this. So that way the projector is leaning downward automatically from the door. Instead of hitting here, it's leaning downward. And then that way you can adjust it here from the bottom on how high you want it. And then you go into your keystone and you lock it in place. There you go. Tilt trick. I do that with all my projectors. That's how I'm going to get bigger screens. Because if I pull the projector back to get a bigger screen, all it's going to do is it's going to expand the image, but it's going to give me half the screen. If I tilt it a little bit, it's going to be to hit that bottom area on the tilt. And then I can then adjust it with keystone. I actually built a stand that actually allows me to adjust it back and forth on how far I want to tilt it, which I need to build me another one. All right, so let's give you some power. Let's see what we got, what we're doing here. We got cables for some sound. Back of this. Right there. We can adjust on how high we want it from there. That's all good. Got Mr. Mannequin. Oh, you're going to get blinded to death. You get you some sunglasses because it's going to be brutal for you today. This is going to be brutal for you today. Let's go get, what, we don't have any, there's all the freaking power cords down here. Like literally, this is what I'm supposed to have, power cords down here in the shop. These are projectors we don't use. I told you, I got bunches of projectors all over the house. They're projectors we don't use anymore. They're old projectors, we don't use them anymore. They work. And they all work. We just don't use them no more. They're old projectors. Let me go grab me a power cord. Or I had one downstairs somewhere. Why in the world I don't have one freaking power cord? Hey, what's up, buddy? We got here, 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 and here. Power cord. It's the land of no return when it comes to wires and cables. I know I'm supposed to be organizing it, just never get around to it. I got about 12 bags of cables in the house. Every time I buy a projector, they give me cables. So I just end up with more cables. Okay, at least you get a chance to see what I go on. This is what I have to prep for in a day. Let go! Turn this off, we don't need this. It's not it. Take my blower downstairs because I need that for another demonstration on Facebook. Liquid technology. Displayed that already. There's a 250 inch screen which I got to be mounted in a day. So I can see exactly how much room I'm going to need to build this thing. Okay, we got a power cord set up. Like I said, these videos are not designed for, if you want to come in and watch, come in and watch. Mike, you can always come in and watch later on. It's early in the morning. People got things to do. People got things to do early in the morning. I don't mind that. Don't bother me none. As long as we can go in and we can show these test demonstrations off to on our channels. What the freak did we just disconnect? To our channels and to we're doing business with. You know, you can always come to watch a live stream. I never catch live streams. I catch a few live streams when they're going off. You got things to do today. You got your kids to get up in the morning. You got to get out to school and stuff like that. Hey, go do what you need to do. No one of people got to sit there and go, I got to wait till I have like 40,000 people in the room. No, these are all done. Live demonstrations are done to back up what our technology can do. Anytime I go into with a company, the company goes, well, I don't know what's real. It's a live demonstration. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. That's it. Mr. Matt, where's my seat at? Pretty sure I'm not sitting here Indian style on this all the thing. Oh, here we go. That's why we do live demonstrations. Anytime we do tests, live demonstrations have to be done. All right, there we go. I love this projector. The projector also too has a quick shut off, which I wish my big boy projectors had that capability, which would be really nice. This thing would doop, shut off. Okay, and we need a fire stick. We have a fire stick tonight hooked up. I don't get it when I see screens of this color, right? Of this color. And they sit there and say, oh, we work on venue. Yeah, you work on venue projectors. We all know that. White screen's going to work on a venue projector. That's no problem. The problem you're going to have is you're going to have to be able to pull that contrast level. That's the problem you're going to have. Because the majority of most displays that are on venues are contrast, the visual effects, DJ effects, all that stuff. I talk to people in that field. You're going to have to be able to pull a contrast level. I'm looking at these demonstrations. They do the all virtual rooms. The rooms are all black. Everything in that room is black. They're all black rooms. And they do these for visual effects, 3D mapping, stuff like that. You're not using this in there. It's not going to pull up a contrast level. So someone can preach and cry all they want about how their product can work with venues. Yeah, guess what? White screens can work with venues too. The only problem is they can't pull up those contrast levels. And contrast levels is what you're going to have if you're basically going to be working with these screens, working with these projectors, and with these people that are going to be doing these projects. You have to pull a contrast level. Now, right now, one of the projects, like I said, we're working on, it's a drive-through theater. It's a drive-through theater, and those screens are going to be black in that theater. They will be the first of its kind. Black theater screens. That's going to change a lot of things. Because people are going to see now when he has, whoever the people we're doing this for, when they have competition, their screens are going to be to fire up at 7 o'clock. They're going to make early revenue. They're going to make extra money because their screens can fire up at 7 o'clock. They're going to be to pull straight contrast levels where the white screens are not going to pull the same images. And this is going to cause a tilt, which means the tilt is the people they're doing competition with are going to want to know where they got the product from. Because now they want to start their screens up at 7 o'clock in the morning. They want to be able to pull that true contrast level, especially when you're doing side-by-side comparison. You're seeing how much they're losing out on a projector they paid $500,000 for. So, yeah, it's going to change things. We just needed somebody to actually have the screen on display at that scale to be to show the difference between our product and a white screen. Now we have someone who's going to do it for us. That is going to be fantastic, absolutely fantastic. All right, so let's go over here. We got everything running. Let's grab our projector, which should be hot. It should be on. There we go. All right, got the projector on. Pop in my meter because I'm curious to see how much light we run in here. The light is more bright in here because this is my work lights. Let's see what we got going on in here. Well, we're gonna have a problem in here because the meter won't read. Hold on, I gotta ask. Oh no, we got it. We're too close. We got. Oh, whoa. We got. Where's my put this at? There's a reading somewhere in here. These ain't your everyday indoor lights. These are work lights. These are my condensed work lights in here. They're bright. They're very, very bright. They're not your everyday indoor, the lights upstairs. They're different. These are work lights. All right. Let's see if we can get it in there. We're probably going to need to tilt this way up to get this to fit in there. Remote control is right there. I don't even know why I even bother asking for it. It's right there. Boom. Remote control is right there. Remote protection is right there. Why you bother asking for it? It's right there. We're not picking up here. We're going to put that in the corner because it can't be near those lights. Those lights are definitely going to wash it out. It's not going to work. It's not going to pick up. Very nice. You don't need to be in there. Not necessary for you to be in there. All right. Ooh, very nice. So swing over here to the left. There we go. Let's go back. All right, cool. All we got to do now is just bring it up some. We got to use 3 instead of 2 on that one. Mine should look a lot like 235.1 for some reason. Is this in 235.1? It was in 235.1. Yeah, it is in 235.1. There's another thing I was explaining to you. This projector, you hear that upstairs? That's my cat literally in the morning. It does 235.1. Told you. A lot of people slept on these projectors. Bad idea. Bad idea. 235.1 is expensive. A little more for that little setup. Extra wide screen, I want to charge a little more for that. Do this at 16.9. That's where we need to be at right there. Alright, right side of this one all together. There we go. Alright, so let me see, let's bring it back a little bit. Not bad. Expand it out, right? Yeah, we are expanding out. Okay. This is why I prefer keystoning every freaking time, because I don't have to do this with keystoning. I just hit the middle of the screen, blow it up, boop, 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 center, done. Now with these projectors, I gotta go with this. I gotta go through this process with these because they don't have keystone. Once you get keystone, not keystone. Once you get lens shifting, once you get lens shifting, you're done. You're ruined. You can never ever use another projector again once you get lens shifting. It will ruin you for projectors. Literally, it will. If it doesn't have lens shift, you want to go, yeah, that's lens shift. I'm not bothering with that. That system's going to be a heck to freaking work with. I'm not dealing with that. That's what you got to go through. You don't have lens shift. This is the best one. Not bad. Not good. Well, that's not bad. We got it. Bit. There we go. And if you notice, right now, see how far my projector is sitting back? Is way back there, just in order to get this size of a 92-inch screen. Not even fitting it out right. That projector I have upstairs has a special lens on it. That thing has a little bit of a short though lens on it, which means it'll expand out, fit this thing perfectly. It'll overlap this screen with no problem whatsoever. And then, like I said, being able to position it where I need to be at, it's a lot easier than with this one right here. But this will do for right now. Because we just need it for the 22,000:1 contrast ratio. That's what we need it for. All right, meter is finally working. Thank you, it's registering, but it's having some difficulties. It's really struggling right now. It's having some difficulties in here, like I said. And here, this would be considered to be somewhat commercial lighting because we're using work lights in here. And as you can see, the meter is struggling. So we're going to see if we can tuck it somewhere away from the lights, because we're going to have to, because it's not going to pick up. Not here. Let's see what happens if we put it over here. Let me get a pickup here. So it's right there. It's registering right now, which is good. We're going to see if we can put it on a hold. You guys. All right. So here we go. On a hold, if I put the meter right here, now we're not even near the lights. If I put it here in the center, because I don't want it near the screen, we don't pick up anything. If I put it near the screen, this is what we pick up in here. This is how much light pushes off in this environment. Like I said, this isn't your everyday inside your home living room. These are work lights in here. This is why I like this particular area when I looked at this place, because the work lights in here, we can work with a lot of stuff. We test our screens down here on 1,000 lumen projectors. So like I said, they can produce outside at 13 feet back on 1,000 lumens, but this is nothing in here because we got the ceilings and walls protecting the screen. So that's what we're pushing off if I put my meter there. I can't have it in the center because it's not going to pick up. in the center at all. So you have to have it here. So we're at 16. Almost 7, almost close to maybe around 1700. Yeah, a lot of light hits the screen. All right, so let's begin because I have a few things I want to get done today, and we want to get this out of the way. I'm pretty sure y'all got things to do. All right, so let's start off with right there. Let's bring up our white screen. That's what I want to see. I already know the black screen's going to do what it has to do. Let's check out the white screen. This is going to completely wash out. And there's the greens, all that going. The screen can't see it. Too much light in the environment. Now, so we get on hold. It's peaking. That's 7. This is right in front of the screen. So this is how much light the screen is taking. So if someone was using this white screen on a commercial property, it's not going to be able to pick up. We've seen it already at 5,000 lumens. It's not picking up at 5,000 lumens. I told you 5,000 lumens couldn't get the screen to hit. There's no way in the world anything else is going to hit off of it. So we'll go with what I need to see first. There are frog tape here. We should have no problem sticking to this. Let's see what the difference we get here. Everyday basic white screen that you can pick up. This at Amazon for around $48 to 150 inch. That's what it'll cost you. See how much of a difference we get with Crow's Personal Mix here. Now, for those of you who want to complain, get a little angry about saying, well, how come you don't have the rest of the screen prints there? You should have his latest products there. Well, we can't get them. He cancels the orders. Can't get something that someone's going to cancel on. Got 11 cancel orders. So that's why we don't have any of his newer stuff over here. He can't. The minute that we put the order in, he cancels them. So that tells you something right there. I don't know what the reason why. We all know what the reason why is, but that's what he does. He cancels them. So we can't get them over here. We can get them over here. We can make orders and have them over here, but that's how we got to order these. We had to go through somebody to get those products for us because we try to go through the website, which we got permission to do so. They're canceled orders. They become automatic cancel orders. Metallica Mix 2.0, right there. This one was actually discontinued by him because there was a video that we had of him making the product for free and then selling it. So that's why you don't see that particular product anymore on the website. This right here is called My Mix. This is what we made, basically black and white paint. We just made the same thing we made over there. But we made a pattern right here. This is My Mix right here. Not getting much of a difference, are you? So let's go over here real quick. Let's come out of this and let's go into our menu here. Let's pull colors. And that's not even black, that's literally gray. So you know that's not black. And the menu comes up, supposed to be black. Let's go to, first things first, the color white. White screen. There you go. There you go, there you go. Now I'm curious, this is what I want to see. This is a company called Paint on Screens. They have a screen called the Ultimate Contrast, which I'm still trying to understand how this is called Ultimate Contrast when the screen is that light. How is that pulling a contrast level? So I don't know why you would call that contrast. I'm going to have to call up and ask you why they call that. But I'm curious, why do you call that Ultimate Contrast? Now you notice, like I said, these demonstrations, we're not calling anybody scammers and none of that stuff. This is a basic test demonstration that we're doing. We all know what the black and white paint is, so I'm not going to leave it alone. You figure that one out for yourself. This is the contrast, the ultimate contrast is the screen paint that this company makes. I'm going to put this product, Crow's product here. Show you that it does produce a higher white level than his product. That product is, the product I'm looking at right there, that's not everyday screen paint. It has something in it. It's different. It's way different. It's not matching what we have over here, but it's way different than an average screen paint. We'll take it. We have over here, this right here is called 3D 4K. So see, before I use the 3D 4K, I want to make sure I talk to them first, because if this 3D 4K is strictly dedicated for 3D 4K projectors, or say it's dedicated for just 3D applications only, I don't want to use it on something that's not a 3D application, because that would be wrong, because it could react differently. So I need to talk to them and contact them about that first. This is what I mean by you have to be thorough with your demonstrations, because you can mess around and get a lawsuit on your hands, Crow, for doing something you shouldn't be doing. All right, because I know for a fact that the, what's the company called? Oh, man, goodness. Elite Screen has a screen called Cinema Grace. Cinema Grace can only be used with screens that, projectors that have to be 2,000 lumens and up. It says it right back on the specification sheet. Anything lower than that, you can't use it. So let's go right here. So we got the white screen, which is producing a much higher white level. This is mine. This is the lightest product he has right here, besides the Cinema. The Cinemax, where it's supposed to be lighter than that, and the Cinemax is lighter than that. I don't know how in the world Cinemax is pulling a contrast level equal to any of our black screens. So I don't even know. You can figure that one out. That's for you to figure out. But in the real world, that doesn't work. And if it's producing a white level higher than our product, a black level higher than our product, then it should have no problem going against the UV mix and producing a higher contrast level than the UV mix. But she could do that himself at home. He can show you that himself. So he's not going to pick up on a personal mix. So bottom line at the end of the day, now I do know for a fact, like I said, knowing by darker screens, this being a lighter product, this is going to be to produce a heavier, this screen right here, the Metallica, is going to be to produce a higher contrast level. But this company also too makes a black screen paint too. So yeah, they do both. So that's going to be a little hard again to go against them, because they do have, well, it's not really black, it's not the dark gray. But I'm curious how that one. So none of these, not even the My Mix product that we made over here, is going to be able to compete with this at all, period. Now, how much does this look like a white screen? Is there a difference in that on a white screen? That is actually a little interesting on a white screen. White screen is always going to produce higher white level. It doesn't make a difference. If you make a product that's white and so you add just a little bit of anything in that, you automatically have tilted the scales in the favor of the white screen, because the white screen is 100% white. That's the problem you're going to have there. So say you add something like a little teaspoon or maybe a teardrop of black in there, just that little bit is going to tip the scales, because that screen is 100% white. It will show if you have any black product in there. That's another reason why I can tell when I take your product and I stick a white screen against another black screen, against another white screen, and if it's a white paint and it has this high, whatever, so and so, I can tell what you dropped in there, because if that screen shows a slight little tint over this one right here, then I know there's a black product in there somewhere. See, so much information you learn from the white surface. When I actually display white surface and I show them up, there's information being fed to me that I can figure exactly how the screens are being designed from just displaying the white surface. One of the things you pick up on. But other than that, it's actually pretty high. I wonder how that would look next to the Pro HD screen, because the Pro HD screen picks up a really crazy high white level, but its contrast levels are actually pretty good. Really good for surface. I wonder how those two would lock up. But nah, it's not my, it's neither here. That's not my business. I'm just here doing this. All right, so Now let's go with the darker products. Here we have the metallic. We have Crow's UV mix. We're going to put up. We're curious to see how that's going to look side by side to the other product. Which one's going to pull the higher white level? They're both dark gray products. Now the screen does say it's black, but technically it's not black. So let's get this out of here real quick. We're done with this. These are done. And this is done. We don't need these for this one. These tests take a little long, but you need to see this. These are things you need to see. There's a UV mix right there. And, you know, to be fair, because like I said, we're going to have people that are going to complain and get upset, get angry, and say, well, hey, you know, I don't think that's his product. But guess what? It is his product. We have the unboxing, we have the container, and then we tried to purchase the product again so we can do a special paint-on demonstration for you particular naysayers out there, for you. I was going to spend an extra $85 out of my pocket to buy the product again, to come down here and do the demonstration all over again to match against the product we had down here. But guess what? The order got canceled. All right, so you take that up between you and him. Because we did make the effort. I did make the effort to do a whole demonstration just for you only. And we couldn't do it because the person who makes the product canceled. So you take it up with him on that one. Tried, didn't make an effort. All right, let me see. Every time they get mad, they come to the room and says, well, you should know, we did. And I got the receipt to prove it. We did make the effort, we did try. All right, this is the other product right here. It comes black, this is the paint on screen right here. Now, I'll bring this down a little bit because I don't want the camera to tilt. I need to be right in the front for you guys on that one. Right there. All right. So as you can see, the paint on screen actually pulls a higher white level. And it does. Crow's product comes out dark. See that a little closer. Let's do some other tests real quick. Skyworth food demonstration. I'm not really seeing too much of a difference, to tell you the truth, honestly. It is a little lighter than its product, but still not by enough to show a difference. And some questions I'll have to ask on their behalf. Now, the product is not black and white paint. There's something else in it because it gives off a really interesting kind of look to it. You move back and forth, so it's not black and white paint. But still, like I said, even though it's, like I said, to pull white level from a black surface is very hard. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm going to pause right there. Bring it right there. Take both of these. I'm going to put one here. Okay. Right there. Okay. And we're going to take this one and put it by itself. All right. So maybe we do it this way too. Make sure we cover everything. We want to make sure we cover everything. And those of you that are looking at this and thinking this is good, that's not good. That's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. It shows that when I have people come in and used to make comments and go, "Oh, that looks fantastic," that shows that at the end of the day, you are used to getting half of your projector. You really are. You're used to getting half of your projector. You don't even know what it's like to even have a projection screen set up. Really don't. Because if you consider that to be good, either one of them to be good, you do not know what a projection screen setup should look like. And even they said, keep in mind, they did say it themselves that white light is extremely difficult to pull from a black surface. But it's not. It's not difficult to pull from a black surface. It isn't. It's just that when you put your faith in God, as I said before, nothing is impossible. Oh, for those you don't like to hear that, yeah. That's the technology I get from my Lord and Savior. I told you. You think it's easy to pull white light from a black screen? How complicated that is? And yet we can do that in hours. Now we have heightened technology now that we have at our grasp where we can turn any black surface to give it the ability to see white light. From a coating can do that now. We can get plexiglass, black wood, whatever you want. As long as it's hit with that freaking chemical, it'll turn it to white light. White light can be read from the screen, from the surface, even if it's black. I think the Phoenix is now getting to the point where once we get it offline, how much that product's going to be worth? Quite a lot. Like I said, it's going to jump. Price is going to jump on this thing. And mind you, these screens are not even black. They're gray. So being gray, they should be able to pull a higher white level than our screen that's actually virtually jet black. The fact that our screen's jet black and pulling a white level literally that high shows that, yes, our technology is more superior. This screen right here is not, it's gray. It's a dark gray. It's not black. I can tell by looking at it. It doesn't even match the whatchamacallit upstairs. We take this and put this next to a Phoenix. It's not going to match. Phoenix are black. It's a black screen. So we'll bring this down real quick. So it's not just Crow's product that doesn't work. There's another company right there we just bought in. See that? Phoenix is black. This is gray. So I can tell if a screen's claiming to be black, all I have to do is lean it up against my screen and go, nope, that's not a black screen. That's a gray screen. That's a black screen right there. It's going to pull a higher white level because it's gray. It's not black. The fact that our screen can maintain a contrast or a white level being this dark, yeah. Any screen we stick up there is going to come up a little lighter than our screen because our screen is literally black. Let me go do something real quick on top of that. We need real quick. I need to see in red levels. Well, we know it's not going to pick up any white. That's nothing going to happen. White screensavers. Contrast is not important when it comes to a black screen. The black screen, most important thing for a black screen is the white levels. It has to be to pull a white level. That's the most important thing. Just like when it comes to gray screens, the most important thing for a gray screen is contrast levels. It has to be to pull the contrast level. There's no point in someone saying, oh, my product picks up on a venue. It doesn't make a difference at the end of the day. You have to be able to pull a contrast level. I don't know what we're going to get for lifetime because it's still in the morning time, so I don't know about that. And then from the white screen, you get the blinding, shearing white light that's going to come off of that. You can see how much white light gets bounced all over the place. Doesn't make a difference if the lights are on and off, it's going to react the same way. "4K demonstrations. Let's go home. I could power everything up. Let's see, I think I got my volume down on my way from the call. There we go. I keep forgetting to put sound on, I really do. So let's go back a little bit more on that one. They're both doing exactly the same thing. Even though they're both two different products, neither one are having, they're having a very difficult time pulling white light. Even in the dark. I want to make sure, like I said, we're thorough on this because we are testing someone else's product. But look at this. You know, those who may be sitting there saying, but this looks, no, again, cut it out. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. The sad thing about it is that people that are used to looking at and I'm not going to be rude by saying it, but it's true. People that are used to looking at crappy screens will always regard as a crappy screen as being a good screen. And it's a shame because you really don't know what you're supposed to be looking at. Look at the screens. It's not supposed to look that way. It's supposed to be clean. That's what you're supposed to be seeing. That's how we know at the end of the day, if you mixed in a black paint and you're claiming it to be our product, All we got to do is put it next to that technology right there, and that screen can see white light. Black paint can't see white light. Or if your product doesn't have anything in it to give it the ability to see white light, we can tell because these screens can do that. That's how we know. That's why when Crow does all those demonstrations saying our product's supposed to come out that dark, well, we already know this already. If that product has anything in it dark, does not have the ability to see a white light, we can tell. Because that product right there is paint on screens. That's not Crow's product. That's a whole entire company on its own. Now for them, I don't think they use it for, I have to go check their site again. I don't think they use it for, and if I was going to send out a sample sheet, I would have sent out a much larger sample sheet than that little square. I would have sent out a much larger sample sheet. Because I really can't give it a fair comparison, but I automatically can tell it's not, if this is going to pick a white light, it would have been able to do the exact same thing our screen is doing right there. Even on that small sample sheet. So I have to get more information on it. I have to understand they're using it for visual effects. For visual effects, you're really not required to have a lot of white light. If you're using it for motion picture or something like that, you're going to require to have white light. Now, Crow's product, I can tell right from the door, is nothing but black and white paint. I can tell that from the door. That's how it's generated. The product that the other fellow has has something completely different. The coating is completely different, so it's not what it is. It just basically its white level capabilities are very poor. That's all. But it's not the same product. It's completely different. They both struggle when it comes to white light. And mind you, these are dark gray screens. That's a black screen sitting there staring you in the face. That's why I say when people sit there and tell me, and I look at y'all videos, they go, oh, no, buddy, your colors are faded. Your contrast is faded. I see it all day. And for those of you who have white screens, you're not picking up nothing at all. Not a thing. Your stuff is whitewashed from the door. I don't even need 5,000 lumens to wash your screen out. It's not going to pick up either way. All right, well, that proves my theory right there because I was more curious to see, you know, both of them together, how would they react to white light? So I got my answer on that one. Like I said, the paint on screen is completely different from Crow's product. It does show something completely different. It's not a black and white mixture. I can tell by Crow's product, it is a black and white mixture right from the door. All these other products react the exact same way. The white screens, the gray screens all react the same way. We got it right over there. We got a big sheet of it right over there. We made it right over there. Black and white paint. That's called My Mix. It's a huge screen over there we made with black and white paint. And it matches the Metallica mix perfectly with no problem. Which is kind of a bit of a, and like I said, and then when people sit there and say, well, you know, no, buddy, we even got a video that you can't even find. There's a video right there that you can't find. You can't deny that one either. It's showing him making the product. Even naming the product Metallica Mix, which is the same product we bought for $107. So, can't get around that one. That's kind of hard to do. Unless you're going to say we got cloning or he's alien deducted or whatever, I don't know. All right, let's come out of this all together. LG snowboarding demonstration. Much easier to do with the Fire Stick. It's kind of hard to do it on the PS4 because then I have to figure out exactly where it's at and all that stuff. Now, mind you, my screen wouldn't be in the equation at all, period. If they're going into any form of storefront or business or church or whatever it may be, and they're saying, hey, look, this is the difference of our product. Most people are going to have white screens. It's very rare you're going to walk into an establishment that's automatically going to have a Black Diamond or a DMP Supernova, one of those high-end monster screens. They're just going to have a white screen there. Majority of establishments I walked into, like restaurants and stuff like that, had white screens set up in there. So that's pretty much what you're going to bump into anyway. And if you're in there eating there anyway, and you do that for a living anyway, which I don't even bother telling people what I do. I go and eat and I leave. But Most people will look this as a good opportunity to make money. They'll come in with their product and say, look, this is what my product looks like, so and so and so. Mine, this is a person who's used to staring at a white screen all day long. So he's used to the levels being a certain height and level. So you have to convince them that your product is going to be a much more better improvement than what they're using right now. And the one thing you're going to be doing on that is display a contrast level, something that their screens can't pull up, which is pretty much what they're probably doing, showing off a contrast level. Because if this screen shows a star flow demonstration, that's going to be a huge improvement over the white screen. But at the end of the day, they're still going to be displaying white levels also, and that's where the problems are going to pop up. So you're going to have to do both white levels, contrast, and color all at the same time. Now think about this. At the end of the day, if I were to take a video demonstration, take their product, not Crow's, their product, paint on screens, display this white level, have my screen come down and show a higher white level, who do you think would get a contract at the end of the day? I wouldn't. Because they would pay me a ton of money to develop a formula for them. They're not going to want to basically buy what we have here. They're going to want me to engineer something for them. And that's going to cost them a lot of money. A lot of money. If I have to go in and custom build something from the ground up, throw a patent pending on it, it's going to cost a lot of money to do it. We're not about to do it, but it's going to cost them a lot of money. Because now I'm actually replacing your product, your label with a new form of technology, which is not going to be cheap. But it can be done. Because we have technology that can read white light. And their screens are not even black, they're dark gray. So we can guarantee them, say, hey, look, we can change your technology to a black screen, and not only that, it can read white light. Well, what's the difference between your product and mine? Well, okay, this. Contract already presented itself already from the door. That's how fast we get them. That fast. That's all I have to do is walk and I can do something that easy. Done. Because that technology can read white light. Lights on or off doesn't make a difference. You can read white light. It's $500,000 for me to design a product from the ground up. You know how much it costs? That's what it costs. It's for a corporation. So if I have to go in there and I have to change the infrastructure of your product to make it like this, so we can read white light and not only be black at the same time, it's $500,000 to do it. That's what it costs. That's my time, but my time is worth now because I have a contract underneath me now. That's what they would charge them to do it. But they wouldn't be going through me because I'm under contract. They would be going to the people that we have a contract with. That's what they're going to be charged. That's what I told you, my contract's a big contract. It's a big contract. It's one company now. Imagine 60, 70 companies under that. That if I can, every display room they go into, they see that demonstration. Yep, that's what it runs for. Told you it's a big contract. I didn't want to tell you how much it was, but it's quite a lot. Let's go over to white snow dogs.
This is my vision. I take over. You two.
Alright, is your airplane
Then you gotta look at the light cancellation. Look at the floor. Everything. Light on the floor is light cancellation. Watch how much light the white screen reflects. Let's look at Mr. Mannequin behind us, which is right over there. Is Mr. Mannequin. That's how much white light. For those of you who have dedicated theater rooms, and I see this quite a lot when I go to forum sites, I see a lot of demonstrations with really nice setups. And the problem we have in there is the fact that they either have white or silver screen in there, and this is how much light they're basically splashing back at them. So let's bring our screen down. Look at Mr. Mannequin, look at the white walls, project everything back there. So if you do have a really dark environment and all that, oh, that's white light just splashing right back at you. It's ricocheting off the screen. So technology has light cancellation technology, because like I said, it's a dark screen. But not only you have to produce a dark screen, you're going to have to produce an image that's white enough. So you have to do more than cancel out light. You're still going to have to maintain your white levels. And we could do that versus Crow's product and a company called Paint on Screen that has nothing to do with Crow. And their products are certified. But I wanted to see this right here to see exactly how they would both react. Now, to be fair, I did ask them about white light, and one of the things they did say in the comment that is kind of impossible for a screen to be able to pull white light with the lights on, the lights off. But I never said anything about our technology at all. It wasn't necessary. I just wanted to get information. So basically, by people who develop darker screens on this level, not on his level, but on this level right here, basically, the theory is the fact that black screens can't pull a white level that high. It's virtually impossible. Mind you, like I said, that's why they make the screens gray, because the gray has a better chance of picking up a white level over a black screen, because it's going to pick up a higher white level. But in this case, that's not neither here nor there. It's not going to happen. And they're not using a special reflective surface to reflect more white light, none of that. As I said before, either the product can see white light or it can't. That's what it becomes at the end of the day. Which shows you that our products are not normal everyday screen paints. And that's why to the customer who made the demonstration, if you did make the demonstration, yeah, you would definitely lose in court, no problem. Because we can show you this against another company that has nothing to do with us and nothing to do with Crow, and they can't even pull white light next to this black technology. So, yep. Did that 1,000 lumens. All right, we're done with the whatchamacallit. We don't need to test this anymore. I was just curious out of that one, if it would do the same thing. I mean, I'm curious if it would do the same thing. But like I said, I think this is a video paint. It's used for something else. I don't think they market it as a projection screen paint. As for the UV mix, the UV mix doesn't pick up white levels at all, period. It doesn't pick it up. It doesn't even have the capability of doing so. Right, when you're being overshadowed by a black screen, you should be picking up a higher white level altogether. You should have that ability to do that because your screen is lighter than mine. TCL, 4K demonstration. not good at all. So you would even struggle there too also. So that's never good. I try to keep the camera at a distance where, a normal distance where everybody's gonna be sitting at. There's no point in me having the camera literally on top of the screen. You're not gonna be sitting that close to the screen. That's why you can't do. That's why we laugh when he does the whole, oh, that's his screen. Nobody, no, because like I said, we got your darkest mix over here, and even in your darkest mix, can't even pull up a white level next to our technology. So that's how we know that you're basically faking your demonstration. We're doing your faking demonstration on so many levels. It's not even funny. See how beautiful that image looks? It's different if we had just, not really, this is not different if we have your standalone by itself, because like I said, we have another company and they're not even matching our screen. And they make a screen paint. Let's get a little closer on theirs. So, I wish you'd have bought me a much bigger sample sheet, would have been nice. See, he'll show this off in this demonstration and say, look, that looks, no, that's bad. That is really, really bad. I'm talking about Crow's product. That is bad. It's never supposed to be that dark. You see the skin tone on my screen right there? Across that? It's not supposed to look like that. If you're used to eating bad garbage, then guess what? You won't never know what good food tastes like until you actually taste it. And a friend of mine went to Italy and has pasta in Italy. Came back and said, I can't eat this stuff over here no more. Because he actually got the real deal. He got the real deal over there. A lot of people say, you're going to a foreign country and you eat what it really tastes like over there and come back over here and like, nope, ruined me for life. I can't eat this stuff. I had the real deal. Yeah. Screen's not supposed to be that dark. Not ever. Let me get my keystone up a little bit better. There we go. Your white screens is automatically going to wash out. That's what that's going to do. So ain't much you're doing. Like I said, white screen is better if it's painting over top of it. J&K 4K demonstrations.
MasterCard is working alongside partnering business firms with ways to keep more businesses online and hundreds of millions in funding. Shop their businesses and start something places.
So the problem I have with the other product is made for a certain application. That I do know. It's made for a certain application. But I did ask if I put it, how the white levels. I'm curious about the white levels and the technology they have on paint on screens. Crow's product, on the other hand, is a bit of a disappointment because he actually sells his product as a projection screen product, which shows that the white levels should have never been tested. It clearly shows they've never been tested. Because the minute you would have put that on a white screen and showed a white background or a projection of a snowstorm or white dogs, anything involving skin tones, this would have popped up right from the door. That would have been the first indicator that would have, red flag that would have popped and said, okay, I need to go in, I need to fix this to make this better than what it is now, which clearly shows you did not test the product. That's the problem I have right there. And then the fact you're still marketing this Whatever nonsense marketing you put behind this and then post it on your website, no, you did not clearly test the white levels on the screen at all. This is a white screen we're testing on right now. Nothing in this room is being done to make your product look bad at all. We have a projector. Watch me set the whole thing up. That's why I do the whole setup where everybody watching me set everything up. We have the screen. We have everything set up here. There's no reason why your product should ever be coming up that dark. It clearly shows you did not basically test your product on any white levels whatsoever. I can see if it came up a tad lower. Yeah, that's going to happen because that's what happens with dark screens. They always come up a tad lower, but not to the point where it looks like a black spot right there in the middle of your screen. It should never look that way. Not even on colors. And this is what happens when you cut corners. You should never cut corners. You can't back your product. This is the reason why when we tried to go in and we tried to do a video, especially for you naysayers out there, if you want to basically and accuse me of that not being his product, I went right to his website. I placed the order for the UV mix to have it come down here to do a demonstration for you, to do a side-by-side with the product we have here, showing it does match, to match what we have in the containers, to make sure everything was legit. What happened to the order when we placed it? It got canceled. So when you person cancel the order, you automatically open the door. That's a huge red flag saying that that product would have reacted the same way when we got it down here. If it didn't, he would have had no problem letting it pass through. At the end of the day, this doesn't hurt my sales at all. It hurts you at the end of the day. It clearly shows your product wasn't tested. Now, as for the other stuff, that's designed, I think, for video wall applications. We're going to go back on the website. I was more concerned when I saw the paint on screens. I was talking to a distributor, and I was asking them, does anybody else make a certified black screen paint or a black screen paint? And so it was a company called Paint on Screens. They make a black screen. And I'm like, interesting. So then I went in and contacted one of their sales reps and talked to them, and they were telling me, yeah, the screen's black and so on and so forth. I didn't see any video demonstrations off of it, so we went in, we placed an order for samples, and when it got in, I looked at them thinking, this is not black, this is actually a dark gray. Even on the website, it does say clearly, it does say deep gray, which is considered to be, it's not black. They shouldn't be labeled as black because it's not black. So if I put that against a Phoenix, or I put that against a Phantom, those screens are jet black. It didn't match any one of those. So we automatically knew from the door, but you know, it's just but I know their product's been tested. See how the reds come up? It's too much contrast in it. So I can get up there live yesterday and take a 1,000-lumen projector and just throw white sheets of paper all over the screen and certify screens and your product at the same time, and do that at 1,000 lumens with no problem. The technology is designed to see white light. This is the same thing I have upstairs. It's a Phoenix. The same technology. The 150-inch screen in my backyard, the one I displayed outside with the Star Show demonstration, that's a black Phoenix. The one over top of my deck, 135-inch outside, that's a Phoenix. Even the inflatable screen has a form of Phoenix technology combined with a heightener in it. You need to test your products. You do. You need to test them. Because somebody was going to accuse you of your product coming up too dark, you couldn't back it. There's no way in the world you would get to back it. If they accused your product of coming up so dark that they can't see the white levels, you couldn't back it. Because your product wasn't tested properly. I was a customer right now, well, I'm a customer when I bought that product. And if I basically didn't know any better, I say, look, this is what I'm getting off a white screen versus your product, you couldn't back it. You couldn't say that your product could pull white level high enough in order to be able to come up not too dark. You can't back it because you never tested your product correctly. Look at that. But if somebody said that against my product, I can go, well, hey, let's see what happens. That's what I can say. See, I can back my product because my technology was tested and retested and retested and retested. So that's why I can do that with no problem. Where you, on the other hand, can't do that because your product can't see white light. And like I said, for the other one to paint on screens, they did admit that bottom line is it was very difficult for a screen to see white light. So they never made the claim that their product could see white light. Never made that claim at all. I like how she nods her head back and forth like, nope, not today, buddy boy. All right, well, that concludes it right there. Let me go back and get the white screens out. We have to still go through those right there. This right here, this is unbelievable. Somebody did not do a proper testing. At all. No proper testing at all whatsoever. As for the other screen, paint-on screens, their screens don't do well with white light. As I can see it right from the door, it's not doing well with white light at all. It reacts the same way. Not saying the same way, but it doesn't do well with white light. But they never claimed, and they never claimed when we had to talk that the screens could do well with white light. They never said that statement at all. When I was talking to them about it, they were just saying that, well, black screens, because I asked them a question. I didn't say what black screen. I asked them a question. I said, do you feel that black screens can produce white light? And they said, that's virtually impossible. Screen can't do that. Right, it can. That's why we have on our website, Powered by God's Technology, because at the end of the day, that's where my knowledge comes from. That's why I can do this easily. Challenge my faith, you want to challenge my religion and my skill level, well, this is what happens. You don't believe in God now, you believe in Him then. All right, let's get out of here and let's go pull up some of the white screens because I need to see that. And then I got to be outside today to figure out exactly how big. I know I'm going to have to build an extension to the screen. I know I'm going to have to. That can't be that wide. There's no way in the world it's going to be that wide. That screen's pretty big. So I'm going to have to just put it up for the time being, let it drape down and see exactly. I'm definitely not going to put it past my other area. I need that. That's something else. So the only way I can explain it, let's show it to you. Yeah. All right. Here's something a little more. No, it's not good at all. That's really not good. Look at the detail adds back into the white screen. That's another thing too. That's pretty interesting. Adds detail right back into the white screen. You see her lips there on the white screen? Look at the detail. That's another thing I tell you about white screens. You're losing so much detail from your picture. It's not even funny. Look at this. And look at her lips. Look how much detail you're losing on a white screen. All it gets washed out because you can't see contrast. That's when I get people saying, but it's in the dark, and I got a white screen, it looks fantastic. Like, no. You're losing so much detail, it's not even funny. Just on her lips alone, look at that. On how much detail you lose. Mind you, the projector behind me is 720p. This is a 600 by 800 res SVGA projector we're using. It's not a 4K, it's not a 1080p, it's none of them. It's not venue. It's a house projector, that's what it is. And if you're losing that much on an SVGA projector, I couldn't imagine what you think you're probably picking up on a 4K. Not even close. And you're not even getting what you paid for at the end of the day. I paid $150 for that projector behind me. I can get a better image on my black technology than you can on a 4K projector on a white screen. Easily. Okie doke. All right, we're done with this right here. Now, can these dark screens cancel out light? Yeah, they can cancel out light. They definitely can do that. It's a darker screen. Any dark is going to cancel out light. The problem is your white level is going to suffer really, really bad. I mean, they're going to suffer. As you can see, you're not picking up any of that whatsoever. The other screen, like I said, it's not going to have that capability because they never made a claim. Paint on Screens never made a claim that their product could pick up a white level at all. So, you know, they kept it real on that one. As per saying the screen's black, it's not black, the screen is actually gray, so that's not true. I'm still curious about the screen that is supposed to be contrast, and it's white, which I don't get that. How do you call a contrast screen white? That's the part I don't understand. So we're going back to the lighter products right here. We have the personal mix right there, as you can see. And then we have, these are going to stick much better. This right here is my mix I made with black and white paints. It's my own product right there. I was following a pro's tutorial video that is no longer available, which you can't find. Can't put that up there because he doesn't really sell that anymore, but we'll put the my mix up there. We have, I don't get how this is a alternate contrast screen. Like, how does that even work? Because, like I said, contrast screens I'm used to seeing are darker screens. Put that right there. The lighter screens here. Like I said, they're used to testing the screens on white screens. That's what they do. They test their products on white screens. Ooh, that should be it. Check out my disc. Check this blowing heat on that side, and I got my disc over there. Just stick heat with this. So I just wanted to see where the white levels came in at. More likely on the darker screen paint, the other product. I just wanted to see where the white levels lay at next to our technology. I was more concerned about that. That's what I wanted to see. So I'm gonna do them a nice little special video for them. I'll shoot it over to their email and show the difference between. At the end of the day, they're gonna ask for a contract. I don't guarantee you that much. It's gonna ask for a contract. And I can't do those contracts anymore because, like I said, that is up to where we signed in at. That's their job. That's not my job anymore. They already signed on the dotted line, so that's it. It's already signed. So that'll be for him to basically, that group to finalize that deal. I'm not getting involved in that. I'm in research and development. I don't work in that field. That was involved in contracts. So over here, we have the white screens. Their white screens, their screen paints right there. And that's Crow's screen paints right there. Remote control, which we need one right now. We're going to be comparing now to the white screen surface. White screen surface, as I said before, you can get them over on Amazon for $48 for 150 inches, the size of the screen right here. All right, so let's get back on YouTube. Let's bring up white screen saver. Because like I said, this is what you're going to be against when you go into an establishment. You're not going to walk in there and see one of our screens, and like I said, you're definitely not going to go in there and see any of the high-end screens. Chances are most screens you're going to put up in these establishments are going to be white. So let's see how Crow's product compares. This is my mix here that I made with the black and white paint. That's Crow's personal mix. And this over here would be the paint-on screens. One of them is a contrast screen, which I'm still trying to figure out how that's contrast if it's a white screen, because contrast is going to mean it has to be to a black level. Even if you put this against the discontinued product that he has under the Metallica mix, no, personally, if it was me, let's say if it was me, I did that, okay? If I went in and I made a product that basically matched a product that I was selling, and at one point I was giving it away for free, what I would have done was I would have went in, first of all, apologized to my customers, and then after that, I would have made another product and compared it to the free product that I gave online to show that it's completely different, and then market and sell that product. But he didn't do that. What he did was he canceled the entire product altogether, which means because he doesn't have any new ideas. He can't recreate and redesign and engineer his product. We can go in and bring in a Nova, we can bring in 12s, we can bring in 8s, we can bring in 17s, we can bring in 19s, and some other stuff. I can't mention what we have, but we can't tell you what that is because Phantoms right now we don't show the Phantoms game capabilities yet. We don't give you that yet. But anyway, you'd be able to do that, but he can't do that. So what happens is the entire product line is discontinued. That's why, if you notice that, that's what I would have done. If I got caught doing something like that, I would have came and say, hey, look, this is the difference between this and that. I do apologize. This is a new product. And I would basically use that particular video demonstration to compare it to all my screen paints to show, to give the confidence back to my customers, to show them that this has nothing to do with any of the products we're developing. That's what I would have did. But he discontinued the entire product altogether. Because it has me to believe that whatever was made in that product with the black and white, I guarantee would match the personal and all the other ones by just a couple of more or less of black paint. Now, to be fair, the paint on screen is lighter than the products up here. It's going to produce a higher white level because it is lighter. If I were to switch this over to a red level or purple, whatever, the darker screens would be to produce the much better color levels. You have to be fair in your demonstrations. I can't sit there and go, oh, well, look at this. No. The reason why that screen is going to produce a higher white level because it is lighter than the rest of these. Just like when I saw the bare silver screen, the bare silver screen is going to produce a higher white level, but those were never showed in any of the demonstrations. It just stuck to the color demonstrations and contrast demonstrations, knowing that the darker screens would pull the higher contrast and the higher color levels because they are slightly darker than the bare silver screen being a lighter color. And I pick up on all that nonsense. But if you had showed the white level, well, guess what? That would have been able to actually produce, a lighter screen would have been able to produce a higher level than your product because it's actually a higher and whiter product. As in your personal mix we have right here. That's why I said you cut corners. When I'm speaking to that person, we're talking about Pro 1176. He basically cuts a lot of corners in his demonstrations. He doesn't show you what you need to see. That's what I saw when I watched the demonstration with the bare silver screen. When you painted the bare silver screen onto that surface, the surface you painted on was much darker than the bare silver screen itself. Which means that whatever that surface was painted on, if it was the same thing you had applied to your screen, then that means at the end of the day, then your screen is going to be to produce a slightly higher contrast and a slightly higher color pop. The darker the screen, the better the contrast. If you get what I'm talking about here, yeah, that's why we had black screens. Because our screens produce tremendously very high contrast levels, but they also do have to be able to maintain the color and white levels all at the same time, which I showed you with the other dark screens, which means you can't take any dark product and claim it to poor white level because it's not that easy. It's a little more complicated than that. But as I can show you with the bare silver screen incident, well, yeah, of course, he's going to be able to pick up a higher white level, a higher contrast level in color because his paint's going to be darker. But if he did a white level versus on his product, oh, the bare silver screen would have won hands down with no problem. It's a lighter product. But he didn't show you that, did he? That was never displayed. See, you got to be fair in your demonstrations. Now, like I said, if I had to produce color on here, you would pick up a slightly better color than the lighter screen. Which, we need the remote control for that. Sure. Where's the remote control for that? Let's see. Can do some stuff in this place all the time. Where's that? Oh, here, it's right there. First thing I'm going to do is set a black control on top of a black tabletop. Now, if I go in and choose the color red, you would produce the better red level over the lighter screen. Which, when you showed off the strawberries or tomatoes or wherever they were in that demonstration, and you got right up on top of the screen, like so, as you did in your demonstration. I can mimic your demonstrations. I can mimic them. I know how they're done. So when you got right up on top of the screen, that's why the bare silver screen didn't show a very high red level, because it was lighter than your product, because it was producing a lot of white light. That's why you were able to pull up better contrast and better color than the lighter mix. Now, if you had taken that bare silver screen and you would have dropped probably about 3 tablespoons of black paint, it would have matched your product perfectly with no problem. That's why I showed you the other fellow who was making the bare silver screen mixture. He had bare silver screen and he had black paint and silver. I don't know why you would drop silver, because you're not going to see that all again at the end of the day, but whatever floats your boat. But anyway, that's what he did. The black was used as a toner to be able to add a little contrast to the product. You didn't add anything in there at all. You just took straight bare silver screen. But at a distance, you wouldn't be able to tell one from the other if you had live movie running across it, not solid colors. This is why his order was canceled out. And this is why the orders were all canceled out. But any product that's going to be slightly lighter, it's always going to be able to easily. A whiter product, a product that produces high of a white light, it's always going to produce a less shade of red or blue or green. Oopsie. My stuff. So you really wouldn't be able to tell at the end of the day. You wouldn't be able to tell exactly. There's a huge, massive difference over one or the other. And mind you, that's my mix right there. That's my product I made with black and white paint. 4K tropical fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
Can you see the paint on screens anywhere? You can't see them, can you? They're in there. You literally can't see them. That is paint on screens right there. And that's your product right there. Now, if I took bare silver screen and I put it on that sample right there, you wouldn't be able to tell one from the other. The only difference between that product is that's not bare silver screen. That's an actual certified screen. Neither one of them is going to surpass our technology at the end of the day. All the screens are much lighter than my screen, including the white screen behind it. That's what our technology looks like. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
We're going to be back in a few minutes. That's red screen on our technology. That's red screen on theirs. This is the biggest eye opener on our form site, especially when we bring down the black. I can't match your technology, that's what I'm saying. Our screens produce higher red levels. So keep in mind, our black screens can produce higher white levels than gray screens, even the darkest gray screens. And we produce higher and brighter colors. Being a black screen, mind you, it's a black screen, a higher and brighter color than a gray screen. At the same time, while canceling out a ton of light. Look at the floor. See? Mr. Mannequin behind us. He's good, ain't he? He's good. Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
They can't see contrast either.
Think you're a good driver? Now's your chance to prove it. With Power Drive, and you can see.
It's for those of you who have white screens that think you're actually seeing contrast levels. Mind you, my projector behind me has a 20,000 to 1 contrast ratio. Again, completely worthless on your screen. It's a option on your projector you will never use. Never. And for those of you saying, well, there's a screen in the middle, that one's put up a good contrast level. That's mine. That's my mix. That's my black and white screen paint product right there in the middle. You see the screen next to it that's matching it? That's the Metallica Mix 2.0, made by Black and White Paint. The reason why this product is coming up lighter because the Personal Mix is actually a lighter screen paint mixture. That's why. And I know you're probably thinking right now, well, what about the black screens behind you? What about those screens? Can they? No, they can't. Again, it's a black screen. It's a black screen versus a gray screen. Gray screens can't pull a contrast level equal to a black screen. I'll show you that at the end. So at 22 or 20,000, I think it's 22 or 20,000 to 1 contrast. That's an option you will never use on any of these products down here. Never. You can't use it. But even if the projector behind me had 4,000 to 1 or 3,000 to 1 or 100 to 1 contrast, it could still pick up a black level because the screen's black. LG 4K demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Doesn't that look nice? Let's show you what you get out of your projector. If you would have bought the projector behind me with 20,000 to 1 contrast ratio, thinking that in the dark, you were going to pull up a contrast level. OLED demonstrations are always done in jet black for the backgrounds, always. Remember, these are demonstrations that are designed for a jet black TV. If you're using a gray screen, it's completely pointless. So 20,000 to 1 contrast, you're not picking up jack. Starfield screensaver. We just came out of that. I found a few skills. We just literally just came out of a Starfield demonstration. I like this one just real quick. Watch the blue skies disappear. Everything's fade and wash away. What's interesting about this is the fact that the black screen can easily go toe to toe with the lighter screens with no problem. See that? Because it can see white light, that's why. And also bring new life back to the white screen at the same time. Giving you back color, contrast, the whole 9 yards. Bam. Easy but cheesy. That's why black technology, I keep telling you, is more superior. I can't even detail and show you any more than that. It maintains its white levels to be able to produce better color than your light gray screens. It produces contrast and white levels. So it actually produces white level and contrast than any dark screen. We counted it at what, 1700 in here? We're using in this environment. Ambient light projection technology, or advanced ambient light projection technology on Phoenix Technology. Background must stay black at all times. When you watch an OLED demonstration, the background must remain black at all times. See, when people do these demonstrations, but you can see the fish. No, you're missing the main purpose. This is an OLED demonstration. The background must remain black at all times. This is being displayed for an OLED TV. This is what these demonstrations are designed for. So you go buy yourself a $15,000 OLED TV, you go to turn it on, and the background looks like that. Are you going to keep it, or you're going to take it back to the store? I think you're going to take it back to the store. The background on OLED demonstrations remain black at all times. But some people think, oh, because I see a little bit of here and there, this makes it acceptable. No, it doesn't. Background has to be black at all times. That black background is what makes the color push out and pop. And now you see why people cancel orders. You stick you in here, this room generates 1700 lux this room generates. These are work lights in here. Your product would wash out in here. You stick you upstairs and put you in a bay of windows, your product would wash out. You stick you to the ceiling, turn on the lights, your product would wash out. You take on the Signature 19 in that fully lit environment, your product would wash out. You take you outside, put you on 150-inch outside, you would wash out. 135, you would wash out. Even that new gold technology, that Phantom Gold, you'd wash out. There's no screen in this house that you would actually be able to stand against. 18 can't stand in here. There's nowhere in where you're standing in here. Even my mix doesn't even stand in here. A lot of people look at the demonstration and go, but look, I can see the fish, how beautiful the colors are. Really? Seriously? Where's the black at? Where's the contrast level? Where is it? The color is not even popping right on the fish. Where is it? That background is supposed to be jet black. Okay, well, that's enough to talk to me. Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
You can't call that way. You can't put copyright on there. That's better. It's one of the demonstrations we request the most. $20,000 to 1 contrast. Think about it. You'll never use it. It's useless. It's like I said, getting half your projector. That's all you're getting. Advanced 8-bit or 12-bit color capabilities. You're not using any of that. If you can't see contrast, you're definitely not going to pick up your color correctly. And even at a 20,000 to 1 contrast ratio in this projector, it's pretty much pointless because the screen's black. So it's like it's like I'm paid for something that pretty much don't need to begin with because the screen's black. I wouldn't need it. For what? It's gonna already generate the black level. Let's see what we need here. Put those on the floor. All right, for those of you who are just curious, what about the darker products? How would they compare next to a black screen? Well, I can't say I told you so, but might as well. There you go. That's Crow's UV mix right there. Laying against our screen, that is black. That's why that's why I told you at the end of the day, it's black paint in there, because black and white paint, because mind you, his screen's way lighter than ours. The fact that his product comes up that dark under a white level clearly shows there's nothing special in the product. Now, as I said, for the other company, they already stated that their products they're not going to pick up white levels. They even doubt it. Black screens having the ability to be able to pull up a white level that high. So, like I said, they weren't really all going gun-ho and bragging about, oh yeah, we picked very high white levels. Never said that to begin with. Any of the companies that do demonstrations don't make accusations they can't keep. This is not going. It's not going to stick against my screen. For some reason, these things don't stick. Nothing sticks against my screen. I'm going to have to hang it from the casing. That's the only way I can do it. So the only way we can do it has to hang from the casing. See? You can call your screen black, but the minute you put it against what we have over here, we can show you that your screen clearly is not black. And if you do have a black screen, the first thing we're going to test you on is white levels. So nope, they cannot produce, because like I said, I want to cover everything. I don't want people leaving anything to question or going to sit there and say, well, hey, what about this and what about that? How come you don't have the black screens against you? It's not going to show up. Like I said, they're not going to pull 100% contrast level. It's not going to come up. And again, 20,000 to 1. And that's a dark screen. So you think about that one for a minute. Chew on that for a bit. It's not a light screen. These are darker screens. And that's a 20,000 to 1 contrast projector. So it doesn't make a difference at the end of the day if your screen is basically dark gray or white or gray or whatever it may be. You're not using that option in that projector. Only we can use that option. But at the end of the day, we don't need it. Because like I said, I can take a projector, which we bring down to Big Boy Christie at 5,000 lumens. My projector only has a 4,000 to 1 contrast ratio on it. That's low. That's really low. So it also, too, basically, if you have a projector at 5,000 lumens, you're still not going to be able to pick up good contrast. You still can't pick up good color. And if your screen is generating too much white light, then, man, you're going to turn that into a freaking, what do you call those lights that they have, basically? Spotlight. Yeah, spotlight. Because you're going to have more white light reflecting off the surface. All right. I get to do something in my day that I usually don't get a chance to do. I get to go outside, which most of my demonstrations are done inside. Well, not mostly, all of them, but I get a chance to go outside, and I get a chance to measure how big the screen's going to be. Well, any chance I get to be outside, it's a fun day. Woohoo! That's why I like doing the invisible technology. The invisible technology allows me to go outside and play. Which I might play with that today. I think I might take that invisible technology and play outside with that today, because I don't really get a chance to play with that screen all that much. I think I'm going to do that today. I'm going to get outside, and it's a nice day outside. Might as well go play with the invisible technology out in the sun, where all the other screens can't go. All right, well, hope that clears it up for you. For those of you, I had a few people ask me about, they're in the dark and they had this 20,000 to 1 contrast, or they have a 50,000 to 1, or whatever they may have, and they're picking up contrast levels in the dark, and I'm like, no, you're not picking up anything at all. Period. Nothing's coming up for you. You're picking up a better, maybe if the screen was a little darker, you would pick up a slightly better contrast level, but are you picking up 100% real black? No, you're picking up dark shades of black. That's what you're picking up. You're not picking up 100% black. And those of you who make black products, well, just to let you know that you're not picking up white light. I'm going to take all this stuff apart and put all this stuff back upstairs and everything. So your contrast levels are going to be really good next to a white screen. The only problem is next to ours, you're not, because our screens actually are black. Having a heat wave, tropical heat wave. I had no idea that the downstairs was, I know it was bright because we have work lights down here, but I didn't realize it was literally that bright down here. I didn't think we were kicking in at 17 down here. And then again, upstairs in the bay area, the lounge area, we do kick about 16 in there because we have all those windows in there, and that one section over there. But in the middle of the floor, we don't pick up at all. So nothing picks up in the middle of the floor. Remember to turn the thing off. Always keep it, never turn this off. I think I'm going to do me a gamer screen today. I want to do a gamer screen. I should open up my door. I have some air in here, too. But as for the paint-on screens, I've got a few questions to ask because I don't know how this is called an ultimate contrast. Contrasts are usually darker screens, so that I got to ask you some questions on. I mean, they didn't basically state anything their product couldn't do at all. At the end of the day, they didn't. I mean, I asked them about whites, if their screens can produce high white levels, and they denounced white levels due to the fact that they don't believe that darker screens, especially black screens, that caliber, and they do believe their screen to be black, but they don't believe that black screens have that capability to pull white level. So they denounced that. They never made that claim. So can't really say it. They said that they never said it to begin with. But we just showed them. When I get done, I might do a little video for them. that I'm going to show them that black screens can pull white levels next to their stuff. Just to give an idea, just give the information to the people we're contracted under, and they can talk to them, because I'm not dealing with that part at all. I'm just displaying it, that's all. They basically want to buy a couple, I don't know, I'm not, chances are they're going to buy a lot, but they're just basically talk with them and they'll put an order in and I'll have to process the order from here. I'm just going to tell them there's going to be a limit because I'm not processing a lot of paint. But they're trying to produce a higher white level, or our technology doesn't. That's one of the things they talked about that they had an issue with, is pouring white light. We can do it. But I didn't tell them who I was, I didn't tell them what I did, just tell them to ask them a question about black products, that's all. So that's why I came in here, set everything up in front of you, so you can see me set everything up. Watch me set my projector up, and run cables and everything through. So that way, there's nothing hidden from you, nothing. You got a chance to see the projector and everything's set up. You put the whole thing, the whole demonstration together right in front of you and do the demonstration at the end. That way you can't, no one can cry and whine about smoke and mirrors and all that nonsense. This place is pretty cut and dry. There's nothing you could really much do in here. Projector, screen, motorized, done. That's it. There we go. We gotta put a booster down here. There's no point in doing a demonstration. You have to have something against it to compare it to. That's why I didn't like the demonstration done on the 720p projector, claimed to be done on contrast levels. You know, they're black screen and they're doing any comparisons to. You could have went to Home Depot and got black paint and did that one. You see what happens when you cut corners. When you cut corners, your products don't work. Like I said, if I was an everyday customer, I could take that UV mix and I could stick that up against a white screen and say, hey, look, this product is coming up too dark. I'd win that claim easily. Easily would win that claim. Because I can clearly show your product does not pull white level, but you couldn't do it to mine. Because I can do that against yours and another company that has nothing to do with me or you and show you, look, this is where my product can pull white level over a company that has nothing to do with you. They make a paint, they don't make a screen. So that'd be a hard claim for you to win. All right, people, we're done for today. I gotta go outside and I gotta measure because I got a funny feeling I'm gonna be building an extension to the side of my deck because that screen is big. This is the monster we're gonna be taking outside today. Actually, 250 inches. Screen. Woo. This thing's huge. 250 inches. This thing's a freaking monster. We're gonna be building. We're not gonna be building it yet. I want to see exactly if I have to build an extension. Depends. Let me know exactly how much lumber I'm gonna have to buy from Home Depot to install it in. It's gonna be way bigger than that 150 inch, man. It's gonna make that 150 inch look like a picture in picture. This thing's gonna be quite big. And then I'm gonna have to put something to the back of it so the wind doesn't cause it to fluctuate too much. I might put on like 4 coatings to stiffen the screen and then put the application on. But the whole thing's gonna have to be sprayed in white in the frame. There is no place in here I can do this. The 180 inch was a little easier to do because I had a little room in here. I could fold the screen in half and paint one side and then go outside and then put the screen in and just paint the middle one with the paint spray and blend it in. This is a little different. This is 250 inches. This is a big screen. So when we get it outside, we get it all laid out, and then you'll get an idea how big this thing's going to be. I'm pretty much going to have to, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to build an extension to the side of the deck in order to accommodate the entire screen. Oh, but it's big. It's a big screen. Like I said, you can get these over at, get them at the ones I'll show you when we already painted outside. I'll show you at the bottom. I'll put a link for the 180 inch and a link for the 150 we got outside right now. And these are ones we buy over at Amazon. I love these. I hope the company never goes out of business. I wish them many prosperity days, because we buy a lot from these guys. This stuff is fantastic. Double stitch, really well made. Grommets don't pop out. A couple of grommets that popped out. These actually, I had these outside in the wind, the rain, everything, and they don't basically deteriorate or nothing. These are fantastic. So these are the ones that we paint. You got to, when you get these, like the one over there's a 150 over there, but when you get these, you want to paint. You want to put 2 applications of paint on this, and then once you're done, you apply our application, and you're done. And you have that screen we have sitting out there. But yeah, I love these, man. I love these screens. I'm gonna get me a couple more. And they're affordable. They're very affordable. Shipping's free, and the shipping time is fast. So I love these things. That right there is 150 inch. The same one I have outside, $48. $48. So when my customers come in, they go, hey, look, I'm doing an outside setup. I don't have a projector yet. We can go over to eBay. I got one guy, we sent them over there. He got a merchant. I found a merchant that had a 7,500 lumen projector. I wanted that for myself, honestly, at the end of the day. I was hoping he wasn't going to buy it. I was going to go buy it myself. But he bought it. He got it for like around 400 bucks. It's 1080p. It has a lens shift, because I do like a lens shift, you know what I mean? So he got the whole thing, a whole nice venue projector. And then I pointed him over to this company over here. Got him a nice 150 inch. That's all he needed for his family and stuff. $48. And then he bought the screen paint, and we gave him the instructions on how to apply the surface, showed him what the finished results look like. And that was it. All you had to do is pick up his speakers. I don't know what kind of speakers you would do for outside. I mean, for me, my inside speakers are pretty cheap. I pay 120 bucks for my speakers. That's basically about it for soundboard. They sound pretty good. But outside, it's a different area. I mean, if you're going to be dragging your speakers in and out, and I doubt you want to go through that crap, you may want to get something that's weatherproof that you can leave out there. But then again, it depends on you worrying about somebody jumping over your gate and snatching your stuff. So that's something we don't have a problem over here with. But still, I wouldn't want to leave something like that outside. I like those rock speakers they have that you can't figure out exactly what it's. But then you want something bigger. What is that, George? You have boulders in your backyard? The speakers. Yeah, so that right there. I may do mine with the rock speakers because I can hide them, and I might get the underground sub. So have you ever seen these things? These are subwoofers that you actually bury under the ground. I might get about 2 of those, and the rest of them I can just hide in the backyard. But then again, I don't want to freak out the wildlife either. So we'll figure it out when we get there. If I get PA speakers, which would be a lot easier because I can Bluetooth everything. There's no wires attached to it. And I can just snap those up and bring them in the house, or keep them at 8s, which would be perfect. I don't need monsters back there, so we'll figure it out. That's what I would like to have. I'd like to have a bunch of those out there, PA speakers. Nothing that big. All right, well, okay, let me get all this wrapped up, because I got to be outside for this today. And this is all done, so we're done here. All right, well, hope the video gave you some knowledge at the end of the day. That being said, thank you for your time. Got to go, and God bless. Oh, we are still, somebody asked me a question like, are you still selling? Yeah, we're still selling screen paint on our website. It's just that we're going through a transition. Once that transition is finalized, trust me, I will come online and tell you that the marketplace has been disabled. I will tell you this. If I haven't came on and told you this yet, then it's not disabled. People are still processing orders through our website. But when that time comes, yeah, I'll tell you that. And that's when the first sales come through for the company. The website's going to have to be disabled, because we don't want people going back and going, I could have got it for that price, and so and so and so. Yeah. By then, I'm hoping and working with them to have another website set up for my customers so they can continue to go in and buy from there. So they're going to be, we'll work it all through. It'll all work out. All right, people, got to go, and God bless. So when I say it's disabled,